We got another Call of Duty on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, and this time it is, as you may well be aware, Modern Warfare 2. Now, I didn't play the original Modern Warfare 2, so I'm basically a newcomer to this game, and this is the open beta. It is available now, obviously, and I have some thoughts about some of the things with this game. Now, in terms of how the game performs and how the game looks visually, it's Call of Duty, okay? So it's going to perform the same, it's going to look the same. I don't really notice any difference in graphical visuals compared to Cold War in this game. But there is some things different, one of which I'm going to talk about later on in the video. But I don't know how this beta differs and how the game will differ from the original release however many years ago in terms of the different maps and some different mechanics, with one in particular that I will talk about later. But like I said, I am a newcomer to this game. I did not play the original, and there was a couple of things here that I did enjoy from previous games that are very similar, like the ability to actually sprint a bit quicker, whereas games like Cold War removed that skill, which comes between the Activision team and I think the other team, Treyarch or whatever one who does the team, I can't remember the name. But how is this beta going? Well, someone told me that the beta seemed to be primarily balanced, and I didn't really feel that way. Now, if you've seen some of my previous Call of Duty gameplays, you will know that I'm not the best at Call of Duty, but I'm also not horrible. I'm okay in Call of Duty. I'm pretty decent. And I almost didn't get a win throughout my games here when I played. Now, there is a few game modes that you do have access to in the beta. You do have a quick play mode that can get you into a team deathmatch or a domination. You do have a hostage mode where you have to either save the hostage or prevent the enemy team from taking the hostage and rescuing them. You do have a package game where you have to grab the package and hold it for the longest amount of time. You, of course, have your domination and your team deathmatch. And you also have an invasion mode, which is more like a larger scale battle, not in the same setup as like Battlefield's larger scale battles, but larger than normal. Kind of similar to Warzone, but smaller and with respawns as well. So I will talk about that in a bit as well. But in terms of the gameplay, like I said, I didn't feel like the game was very balanced. I felt like the other team had a very unfair advantage, and I've had this kind of like inside joke where if I'm on the top of the scoreboard of my team, that's a problem because I'm not good enough to be the best player on my team. Maybe top 5, but definitely not the top player. So I did feel that there was a lot of advantage to the other teammates. But in terms of the game itself and how it performs and how it sounds, the sound is incredible. There's no doubt about it. The guns are, the sound is incredible. They really do have that punch of audio. You do hear the footsteps of enemy players very well and clear, especially if you're using really good headphones. Like I'm using the Sony 3D Pulse headphones for the PS5, so it does sound really great.
Requesting recon flyover!
Copy. UAV is on station. Recon online. Hostile cruise missile launched.
Changing mags!
UAV standing by. Online. Cruise missile standing by. Standing by. Copy that. Tiger 4 inbound. No effect on that pass.
Covering your 6.
As well as, just any of the in-game music as well. Just the audio is really great. Performance-wise, I didn't have really any bugs or frame rate issues, any kind of lag. There was one like kind of a bug slash glitch or whatever, which you're gonna see normally anyway. Just some random player who fell out of the sky and just face planted on the floor. But aside from that, as I said, the game performs very well, and I can't wait to see how it's going to maintain this performance on the actual release. Now, my problem with Call of Duty, especially with these kinds of games, is as you see right there, just not being able to spot the enemy player. Not sure if it's just a issue with the game's coloring and graphics, or if it's just my poor vision. Probably the poor vision. But with some of these other modes available, some I did favor more than others. Like, I'm always going to be down for a team deathmatch. Domination is like a 50-50 thing for me. The one where you got to secure the package, that one, I like that one better than the hostage one. Whereas the hostage one, you have to worry about 2 different hostages, and for the package you just got to worry about the one. Now, for those 2 game modes, with the hostage game mode and the package, you do not have a respawn, but your teammates can actually revive you, and I believe it's 5 players per team, 5 or 6 players, something like that. And unless you're playing with a party of friends and have your voice chat on, you're not going to get revived as often. Players don't really like to revive you unless they feel obligated or they're nice enough to do that for you. So there's always the risk of playing those kind of game modes. Invasion does have random drops throughout the map, such as, vehicles and care packages. But Invasion was pretty cool because there were certain moments within Invasion that I felt was kind of cool. One of which was I was being shot at by an enemy player from across the map, and I was on the roof trying to get down to safety, and I landed on the glass ceiling. I had to shoot the ceiling just to drop down and try to escape, and stuff like that is pretty cool that you will get to experience in that game mode. Aside from those modes, the one that I did not like the most, and I only tried it once, was the new third-person mode. And my problem with it was it felt very weird. Like, the camera angle was kind of off. Normally, those kind of games will allow you to switch between which shoulder you're hovering over with the camera. I didn't see an option for that. Normally, it's just a click of a button to do, and I couldn't figure out if there was an option. And whenever you aim down sights, it's just going to be down into first person anyway. So, third person, while it is a new feature and it is a cool thing that they did put this in the game for those who've been asking for it, I need to experiment with it more to be able to tell you whether or not the third-person mode is worth playing. Some players actually probably like it. I got dominated in that game mode against other players playing third-person. So there's probably those who prefer third-person and those who like me who I just couldn't do it. I was much better with the first-person than I was in third-person. Other than that, there's not much else I can say about this beta. You will have, the party chat and people talking in the game. You can also, of course, mute them. And it's just endless fun for the beta until the game actually releases. I don't see myself buying this game at release, mainly because I usually don't. I usually wait for a sale because Call of Duty typically will go on sale by the holidays. Sometimes half price, sometimes around like $40 to $50, and not the full price, $70. So this will, of course, for me, be a wait for a sale, but I'm not saying the game is bad based on the beta and you have to wait for a sale. I'm saying if you're a Call of Duty fan and you buy the games every year, and especially if you love Modern Warfare, you're going to like what's offered here for the most part. I don't know what else can be different for these games other than when they had the futuristic settings for the Black Ops games where you're running on walls. I actually enjoyed those games a bit more. This is, of course, more of the boots on the ground Call of Duty. So, like I said, there's not much else to say about this. Very shorter video than my normal videos. It's just a beta right now. So when more, I guess another beta will be available, or if not, just full on release, maybe I'll pick up the game and talk about it some more. Not sure if I'm gonna grab it on PlayStation or Xbox. That just depends on my friends and what system they're gonna play it on. So if I do grab it, you'll know by the end of the year. But that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Kind of a somewhat before you buy type of thing. And let me know in the comments what you think about Modern Warfare 2. Did you play the original? Was I missing out on something amazing back then? Let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next one.